to the Climate Parliament of Bangladesh to organize this very important session and give me a chance to participate and know something else, what are the regional peoples are thinking to mitigate the waste and water problem solution. So actually, if I want to start, that is, in starting of my speech, I want to remember with humble respect our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, as this country is the dream country of father of the nation. Definitely, if I like to say something else, I have to go my background. Actually, this country was miserably suffering because of the poverty. And when you start our journey, we were submerged under poverty, and our people could not even think whatever about climate or any other issues, which is we are very spontaneous now that is to discuss. As because our status was not that much very appreciable level, that is our journey whenever our present Prime Minister started in the year 1996, first time. Then time our per capita income level was $329. So you can calculate what was the situation. So by this time, under President Prime Minister leadership from continuously from 2009 to today, the journey was in second time when she started, it was 700 close to $700. So by this time, our per capita income level rise up to 2,824. So because as we have a commitment, we successfully able to meet or reach all the target of MDG, and later on SDG is started from 2015. And in the same time, we have a commitment, we have a goal, that long-term perspective goal in 2041, we have to scale up the country in the level of development. And by this time, to fulfill the commitment and demand, we have adopted a Delta Plan 2100. The background is that our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, while in 2015 visited Netherlands, and as because everybody is convinced that the Netherlands is the country, the leader of the water management, and they are very successfully managing. Though they are the Delta country, we are the Delta country. There is many similarity with us and them. So this, I express my thanks to the Netherlands. They have expressed the cooperation. They have extended the full cooperation for the taking this kind of Delta plan. So anyway, so now you see how we can scale up our status from 329 to 2,800. Because our actually GDP depending on about the 73% on agriculture only. So for agriculture, it was not automized agriculture. It was actually manual process people are traditionally doing. But once, there is a huge deficiency of a food production. So when we have take the lead under the Honorable Prime Minister in the NTC, so we have to go, we have to give the priority to automize the agriculture. So once we go to automize, so there is some challenges, adverse effect on the climate, definitely it will come, because carbon emission and carbon production and many heavy metal otherwise. And beside that, we have to go for the electricity generation. Because unless otherwise we have a power, we cannot operate the agricultural machinery as well as other productive sector. So massively we have to do it. This is what we did. All the development here, whoever change the fate of the common people, so everybody has to do. So whenever you will go to automize, you have to go to electricity production or anything else or productive sector, industry. So everywhere this water is a requirement. You cannot ignore it. So when we are grooming up the more lifestyle of the common people in the urban area, the peoples are living, they are consuming huge water. So water cannot be his getting without any source of some support of the technology. That is, water treatment plant we have to be set up, or we have to extract the water from underground. So whenever we go to extract the water from underground, there is some of the adverse effect is there on the climate. And you see, nowadays there is a big challenge. I think it is not only for Bangladesh, many otherwhere else there is a continuously there is interruption of the water recharging the soil. So we have Bangladesh is as I told, Bangladesh is a delta country. We are with downstream country of the Himalaya coast. So we have many opportunity and we have some of the actually challenges there. From upstream the water is coming. So it was a big opportunity for us. Since 100 years, the water was coming automatically, and continuously it was coming, not in the monsoon or not the rainy season or the lean season. There is no. So because I born this country, I have seen everything. But now all the country are committed to fulfill the aspiration of their citizen. So whenever they're going to fulfill their aspiration, they need more water and many other things. So whenever they need more water, then upstream country mostly are withdrawing their water. And whenever they could not retain, they could not contain the excess water, so they release it and then it is overflow to our and in the at the time of monsoon or the rainy season, where the water is coming, water is not alone coming. It is also coming with this sedimentation, and which is also rising not only sea bed is rising, many issues is there, but the river bed is going to be rise. So this is why our all river capacity of retention of water is going to be down, is reduced. So this is one of the problems. So there is a many problem is there actually, but despite it that, we the Bangladesh, we have a commitment as we have to scale up the lifestyle of the common people. So how could we can do? So we have to be massive. We have gone to the massive industrialization. We have 100% connectivity. Whole country is covered by the electricity, and whole country mostly is internet connectivity. So all this the opportunity. So how we do it? So whenever electricity is produced, and you see we are a small territory, and our density of the population is, I think, ever highest in the world. That is, we are 170 million people living in this so scarce land. So fortunately, our land is fertile. So this is why we are now, we do not have that any deficiency of the food we can grow. But where we can accommodate all the peoples for income generation, that is not depending on the natural situation, we cannot. So we have to go for the massive industrialization. Everywhere there is a water is requirement, and some waste is generating. So all this is a challenge. I think I do not like to go much more about to give the explanation, but I think everybody is much more aware what we are doing. So as a signatory of the SDG, we have a commitment to scale up our status from underground water, to shift our status from underground water to the surface water, 70%. But we are working for that. So we are working for that. But in the rural area, many other, because that city corporation area mostly is densely, so we can set up big water treatment plant. It is also it is profitable. It is convenient to do. So we have taken the plan to do all these things, to supply the safe water. So because SDG we have a commitment to supply the safe water. We have a huge deficiency. I think 10, 15 years back in Dhaka city, people did not get the 60%. People did not get the, more than 60% did not get the water. Now 100% people are getting the water. So now it is one of the issue that is they are using, they are getting the water, and industry need a huge water. So and this is why we have to extract underground water and river water we have to pick up. So all these things is a challenge. But we are about the water. We have taken huge. I think our Secretary of the Water Ministry, he has pointed out some issues that we have some planning. So I am just wants to say about a few word about the waste management. So as because the waste, why I have given the actually data of our economy status, because our you see our GDP was 47 billion. Now it is close to the 500 billion. So as how could all this income have been generated? How could we, our scale status reach up to this level? Just because of we have intensive productivity, and so definitely it is defending mostly. Now, as I mentioned, you 73% of our was on the agriculture. We are defended. Now our agriculture, our GDP now is defending only 11%. And 37% is we have able to shift to the industrial sector, and our about the 50%, 53% might be bigger is that is service sector. So it is a good sign. Definitely, all economists they will give this kinds of impression. So about the as because our per capita income rise, per capita consumption rise, per capita waste production rise. So per capita waste whenever rise, and in the same time about the Dhaka city, it is not only in Dhaka city is rise. Huge actually information. I have a one current study that is 17,028 metric ton is every day positive in both the city corporation. And I think it is unequal, the rural area also producing. You see, whenever I was a school student, I born in the village. In every weekly one cow was cut. And the cutter was very scared. Businessman, he was scared whether he can sell all the meat. Now, in my same village, same market, same bazaar, every day 7, 8 cows is they're cutting, and all the meat is selling, sold out. So why I point out all these things? Because the consumption have been rise. These kinds of actually, so it is not only the urban area, rural area. So whenever I have taken the charge of this ministry, water, domestic water and industrial water supply is the mandate of this ministry, and waste management, it is also belongs to this ministry. So after taking the charge in 2019, immediately I have traveled all the developed countries, Japan, Korea, India, Singapore, Thailand, and I tried to learn how they are mitigating the problem. So I have reached a consensus that actually Bangladesh as densely country, densely waste is generating, so it is very easy to incinerate and produce the electricity. And then I develop a one procedure, and which have been finally approved by our Prime Minister. So what is this? That is, I will invite the foreign investor, and many investor is eager to come forward, and because our waste is very densely waste generating, so once they can invest with their own plant and set up the plant, and the waste will be incinerated, that is, it will burn and it will produce electricity, and we will buy the electricity. Government will buy. So our city corporation is liable to ensure to supply every day 3 to 4,000 ton. But might be it will increase later on. But at this moment, whatever the treaty was there, so they are supplying that. And one plant is under construction, and another Gazipur is under process. Chattogram is also same. Narangonjo also we have completed the formality. Investor is waiting to start his activities. So this is the situation. So once and we do, so what about the rest of the country? So rest of the country, as because Bangladesh, as I told that this is a densely populated country, so in every district level, if we can set up one incineration plant, once it is at more than 2,000 ton, we can supply and ensure to the incineration plant, then it will be profitable for the investor. So this process we are following, and might be there is some sort of there is a degradable, biodegradable, non-degradable. You see, inorganic, organic. Inorganic means it has a more calorific value, and but organic one and the biodegradable one is no calorific value. It is not true. There is some sort of the debate. Sometime I have faced that it has, but it is a very negligible. But as it is a domestic waste, a mixed waste. So there is a organic and inorganic, degradable, biodegradable, non-degradable. Both whenever you mix, then it is good for incineration plant, and they'll get a lot of calorific, good calorific value. They will get then they can electricity. They can produce much electricity, so it is profitable for them. So this process we are going ahead. So we have this kind. And about another issue, pickle sludge and the sludge human extract. So we have under the leadership of our present Prime Minister, we have divided Dhaka city in 5 catchments. That is, one is Dasharkandi for the pickle sludge treatment plant. Pickle sludge treatment plant, all the sludge. Now one plant we have our Prime Minister has been inaugurated, and it has been started in Dasharkandi. And another is Pagla, is the groundbreaking ceremony we did, and the thing is started. And Pagla, and another is Utthura, and another is Mirpur. Everyone is under process. And about the Chittagong, we also awarded the work to the one company. The Chittagong also we have taken the pipe plant. So in this way, pickle sludge we are trying to manage, and Bangladesh is actually commitment whatever has given through the SDG and the COP21. So all these things have not only given as a commitment, but it is also just only not commitment, but it is we are doing accordingly. As because this is our need, and regionally, definitely we have to do sub-regionally, and this is the actually nowadays we like to say, and it is true, we are living a global village. So each one country could mitigate all the problems, but the nearby country, if the problems is remaining, so then this way, that it will migrate it to us, and it will affect us, it will influence us. So this is why all the developed countries and the leaders of the world have taken a comprehensive project, and we are also, Bangladesh government under the present Prime Minister leadership, we have a real commitment, and we are doing all these things. So, and about some retail issue come to the discussion. I think some question have been come. You see there is some upgrade area about the electricity. We have solarized them, and also coastal area there is a salinity. We are the bank of the Bay of Bengal. So there is the intuition of the salinity because the rising of the riverbed, so seabed. So this is why there is some of the challenges there, but multi-procedure we are applying for them to ensure their water and to river source species. I think somebody else point out this one, and we are doing this. And the solar irrigation. Actually, solar irrigation is one of the fantastic. Few days back, some foreign delegate came to me and they have visited Bangladesh in rural area. They have seen and they have given me good appreciation, and they have told it is a very good example for them to learn, as they have learned here, and it could be replicated to other countries. So, I think. Oh, about the local government entity. Actually, all the entity is going to be scaled up. I want to put one example. When first time I have taken the charge of this ministry, all the municipalities belongs to this ministry. So I find out of 328 Purushoba city corporate municipality, only 38 municipality could pay the salary of their staff from their own sources, and funding of salary of almost all Purushoba is 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Now we have given a lot of input, and cause of that at this moment, all the Purushoba could pay the salary by themselves. Why I point out this issue? Because once we are lauding, we are convinced, and it is not any dialogue or innovation of me. This is almost established in all over the world. That is, once you want to mitigate the problem, once you want to scale up this lifestyle of the common people, fulfill the aspiration of the common people, definitely you have to engage all people, because everybody has some potentiality. Either he's a rickshaw puller, he's a cultivator, or anybody else. Everybody has some potentiality. So I have to develop some of the module by which we can encash all the opportunity and potentiality of him. So this is why I admit fully, once we cannot empower, or we cannot develop the capacity of the local government institution, Union Parishad, Purushoba, and City Corporation, Upajila Parishad, Jila Parishad, like this. So, because whenever after taking the charge, I was hearing this word very seriously, these kinds of concepts. But when I practically started to work, I convinced. Because one member, Union Parishad member, he is living in one village, within 2-3 villages maybe his ward. He's a simple, within his area, I think the population is about 3,000. So he's a single man, but he has a connectivity. He has a close, actual 200, 300 people out of 3,000 people have a voluntarily working under the leadership of this member. So once we can motivate this member, we can build up the capacity, we can make him accountable and transparent of his activities. Definitely, I think you can extract huge benefit. You can harness big benefit. So about the one, it might be looks to be irrelevant. Aedes mosquito and dengue. It is the very hot talk issue nowadays, especially Bangladesh and many other countries, contemporary countries. So yesterday when I was facing the press, I told it is the responsibility of course, whatever the health minister told, it is the responsibility of local government ministry, municipality, city corporation, and the dwellers of the city. You see, I am an individual. I did not depend on the government to be educated, to arrange my daily meal, to arrange my cloth. So all these kinds today's, as because Aedes mosquito have been spreaded in whole over the nation. So how we can face this situation up to this level, might be this is the very bitter level. But of course, I have a study every day, many seminars, symposium, and the entomologists from the many other countries, especially from the USA, Miami University entomologist and CDC specialist and State Department peoples, all together they came to me and they share what we are doing about this one. I myself go to Kolkata in 2019 about another issue. Then I have shared with the Kolkata people how they are facing this situation or how could they face. They told from many decades they are facing these problems, and many thousand and 100,000 people was impacted and died. Because of that, they have developed a lot of procedure. So I learned from them. And few days back, a seminar was held patronizing by the World Bank, and in Singapore universities, 2-3 universities and many other also university academia specialists, they came, entomologists. We have shared with them and in front of the journalist. So why I'm pointing it out? Now that it becomes actually where the mosquito is growing, is breeding, at your premise, at my premise, at my home, in the balcony, under the fridge, under the air conditioner, and where is it? Abundant clean water is retaining. There is the very potential place for the mosquito to breed. So once I take this responsibility, I clean my house. So somebody like to say, oh, what about the road? What about the drain? It is common. Normally, Aedes mosquito do not breed in dirty place. It will not be breed in the big pond, big river, big canal, and it is only the very small size of the water where there is a. So it is only within that, and Aedes mosquito is considering sometime it is the elite mosquito. So it loves to it loves to remain at your home, at your office. So why will not be responsible? Because government can facilitate what we are doing. I developed a guidebook after the bitter experience of 2019 and for covering the whole Bangladesh. So we have disseminated this book, and we have continuously TVC is broadcasting in the television, all the television we are giving. So how could you can mitigate this problem? If anywhere else there is a clean water you have to retain for the construction area, you can put some cost of the kerosene. It is a simple solution in there, but we are not giving importance. We must have to give the importance. It is very painful that many people is impacting and maybe dying. Being a minister responsible for that, actually it giving me shock. So this is why I point out this issue that we can join. Government only can facilitate. Government cannot clean all the houses of everybody. Now people love to say, oh, it have been reached to the village, because village has all the now the concrete house. Before it was a tin shed and many other small houses, but now it is a concrete house. So once there is a concrete house, that could have a water could be retained, abundant water, so that there is a good scope to be breeding the mosquito there. So anyway, I want to conclude here. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I get the chance to learn many things else through the the cross discussion and the cross-sectional countries, whatever they are doing, and it is also the good scope for Bangladesh, and we want to work together as because we want to maintain our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. He was committed. That is, we do not have a we have to maintain a good relation with all the countries so that to go ahead to fulfill our aspiration and the demand of the common people. So thank you very much for thank you. I want to conclude here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.